Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 12th Horseshoe Podcast live on Surge Sports TV alongside my co host Elijah Weintraub. I am Jack Rizzo. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight as we get set for week 7 of the 2024 NFL season. Eli, how you doing today, my friend?
Happy Friday. I'm doing great, and I can't wait to talk about football. Obviously, last night's game was not the best game to talk about, but we have to look forward to the weekend, and that's what's the most important.
Absolutely, Eli. Well, let's just get right into it. Actually, we'll start off with some breaking news in the NFL that happened last night. Former Bears and Dolphins quarterback Jay Cutler was arrested in Tennessee for DUI and possession of weapon while intoxicated. So, little news there. Jay Cutler, former Pro Bowl quarterback of the Bears. So, some news there. Let's get into the game last night, Eli. And it was, well, if you missed this game, you didn't really miss that much.
You should have watched the baseball game and watched the Yankees lose, and should have watched the Mets also lose.
And watch the Devils and the Rangers both win.
That's
So
right.
it was a good.
Well, except for the Rangers. We don't want to watch that. But other than that,
all right, whatever, Eli.
And the good news is, if you're interested, not football related, the New York Liberty could win tonight, the championship, and be the first New York team since 1973 to bring a basketball championship victory to New York. Wouldn't that be exciting to see?
It would be. It would be the first championship in the city of New York since the Giants in Super Bowl 46 in 2012. That took place in Indianapolis.
Soccer, MLS.
Oh, right.
No,
I
that
don't
counts.
really. It does count, but I don't really watch.
Jack, you got to count it. But from a basketball perspective, 1973.
I can't name like two. I can't name more than like two teams in the MLS right now. But
Red Bulls.
Okay.
Miami.
But first major sports championship in New York since 2012. Anyways, last night we had our Thursday night game. Again, if you missed it, you didn't really miss too much. Don't feel bad. The Broncos beat the Saints 33-10. They crushed the Saints on Thursday night. It was a dominant performance from the Broncos defense. Denver's now 4-3. They've won 4 of their last 5. Meanwhile, the Saints have lost each of their last 5 games. They were 2-0, and now they're 2-5, and it looks like they're going to just tank the rest of the season. I don't really think there's much to add here, Eli. We both got this pick right. We both took the Broncos. Their fans really showed out to Nola, and what a shame for this to be the game that Drew Brees was inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor. Any
first we have a comment from Jason. He said, "I tuned in, back to work now. Go Colts." Eli, stop yelling at Jack.
You tell him, Jason. You tell him. Go
Jason,
ahead, Eli.
Number one, no wonder why he's no longer a guest on the program. So sorry, folks.
Whoa, don't say that.
Airways. Well, hopefully he'll be back towards the end of the season.
Yeah. Well, Eli, go ahead and give your analysis of this Broncos-Saints game.
What analysis? Broncos did good. Drew Brees, I mean, congratulations on their well-done career. And Saints, man, I mean, you start off so well, and then now it's just downhill from there. I mean, not much more to say. Good win for the Broncos. Jason, I meant that as a joke. You will be back on soon, hopefully, but just joking around. Go Seahawks. Go Eli.
Okay. All right, let's get into our picks for week 7. We still have 14 games left to pick. Only 2 teams on bye this week, the Chicago Bears coming back from London and the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, do they need a bye week. They just lost by 38 points. They definitely need that bye week, but let's get into it. For the third straight week, your Sunday morning start, your NFL Sunday slate starts early, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time in London, England. This time at Wembley Stadium, not at Tottenham. The Jacksonville Jaguars for the second straight week are out there taking on the fellow 1-5 New England Patriots and Drake May. The Jags are 5.5-point favorites here. What a game this is! What a game this is to have on national TV. 1-5 versus 1-5. I truly cannot wait for this, Eli. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Jags here, 28-13. I think their defense is going to bounce back this week. And the Patriots just gave up 41 points to the Texans. I think Trevor Lawrence will get some points on the board and give me the Jaguars.
Well, the Jaguars did what last week? Nothing. Really, absolutely nothing. It was pathetic what they did in London. And they were supposed to be the home team favorite, considering that London is their quote-unquote home. And I'm not seeing that at all from this Jaguars team at all. So I'm taking, for my upset pick of the week, the New England Patriots 15-10. And we do have a comment from Kurt coming out.
We both had it at the same time.
At the same time. Kurt Valenti, boys, Broncos dominated last night, and boy, did they do that.
They did.
Night. And I'm sure you're very happy about that. And
they got rid of Russell Wilson, and look what it's done for them.
Yes, it is. And look what the Steelers are going to be doing. We'll talk about the Steelers in just a little bit. But Patriots in the upset, 15-10.
All right, let's get to the Sunday afternoon slate. We have a 7-game 1 o'clock window. We'll start off with an NFC East matchup between the Eagles and the Giants, 1 p.m. on Fox. The Eagles, bit of a hard team to figure out. I don't really know what to think of them. Like, they just only beat the Browns at home by 4 points, and Nick Sirianni was trolling the fans. Meanwhile, the Giants basically have no offense. The Eagles are a 3-point favorite here, Eli. I'm going to take the Eagles to win 19-14. Their fans are going to show out here to MetLife. Both of these offenses are struggling right now. I don't think there should be many points in this game, Eli, but ultimately, I think I trust Jalen Hurts more to make the big plays than Daniel Jones. And in the Saquon Barkley revenge game, I'm going with the Eagles.
I don't think both these teams, are living up to expectation that we had hoped for them to have this year. But if you look at the Giants right now, they came off of a horrible loss last week to the Bengals, had a good win previously to Seattle. But I feel like Philadelphia is just a better team entering this contest. And for those reasons, I'm taking Philadelphia 24-10. I don't see the Giants scoring no more than 10 points.
All right, next up, staying on Fox, we have Seahawks at Falcons, 1 p.m. These teams kind of heading in opposite directions, Eli. The Falcons have won 4 of their last 5. Meanwhile, Seattle has lost 3 in a row after a 3-0 start. This game is in Atlanta. The Falcons favored by 2.5. I think the Falcons defense is playing too good right now. They had a good performance last week. That Seattle offense has been struggling. I'm taking the Falcons close. I think it's going to be close because I think Seattle could surprise some people, but I'm still taking Atlanta here 24-21. Eli, do you think your Seahawks could get back on track this week against the Falcons?
100% yeah, Jack. Of course. Listen, you look at the Atlanta Falcons right now. I'm going to use this word. They've been getting lucky. They've been getting lucky to get the wins that they've gotten. And for Seattle, they've been off of a slumpy start after their winning streak came to an end. And now they're losing. But I feel like they're going to be able to bounce back this weekend and pull off a fantastic victory in Atlanta versus the Falcons. Give me Seattle 24-20 in a close game.
It's going to be close, that's for sure. 2 evenly matched teams. Disagree there. Next up, Bengals at the Browns. Battle of Ohio, 1 p.m. on CBS. Are the Browns the worst team in the NFL right now? I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. The
No
Bengals
way to
are
hang.
4.5-point favorites here on the road. The Bengals are looking for their first win in Cleveland since 2017. That's the last time the Bengals went to Cleveland and won a game. It's been a long time, safe to say. Eli, the Browns could definitely win this game. It's an AFC North game. Anything can happen in these games. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and take the Bengals 20-17. I'm not really impressed with this Bengals team at all, but they're just better than the Browns are right now. So for that reason, I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals.
The question mainly asked here is, who is the worst team? Is it the Panthers or is it the Browns? Considerably, it could be a tie because the Browns have been really awful. The Bengals, however, been lucky to get the wins that they've gotten and have also been struggling. So this is going to be a boring game to watch. But in reality, who would be the better team in the victory zone? It's going to be the Bengals. I do expect the Bengals to get a victory in a high-scoring way. I don't see much from the Browns, so I see the final score being 32-12 with the Bengals' victory.
Yeah, the Bengals need to get a comfortable win, but I just don't see it happening in a division game. Next up, 1 p.m. on Fox. The Colts back home taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Colts are 3.5-point favorites. Anthony Richardson is back starting for the Colts. Still no Jonathan Taylor with that ankle injury. Looks like Devon Achane is going to be back for the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa still on the IR with a concussion. We still don't know when he's going to be back. But Mike McDaniel did say last week that he expects him to play again at some point this season. We just don't know when. The Colts are at home. I think their defense is going to have a good game here against Tyler Huntley and the Miami offense. And I think Anthony Richardson and the Colts offense, I think he'll be a little rusty, but I think the Colts will do just enough to get a win here at home, 17-16. It's going to be close. I think the Colts might play down to Miami a little bit here, but I'm taking the Colts at home.
Well, I really don't know much to say here. The Dolphins really been struggling. The Colts, looks like Anthony Richardson's cleared to play Sunday. Who will be the quarterback? We don't know. I'm sure Jack will provide us insight on that when it comes closer. Right, Jack?
For Miami or for the Colts?
For the Colts.
Shane Steichen said today that Anthony Richardson's starting on Sunday. So
okay, well,
he had a full week of
I
practice.
still have a good feeling in the Colts. So I'm going to take that for my survivor pick of the week. Give me the Colts 28-18.
I think this is a pretty bold survivor pick, Eli, but I like it though. I like you picking my Colts for survivor this week. Next up, this actually, Eli, is what I predicted for my Super Bowl matchup, but we're getting a preview of it in the regular season. 1 p.m. on CBS up at Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers taking on the Houston Texans. What a game this is going to be like. Two great offenses, two great quarterbacks, two underrated defenses. I'm so excited for this game, Eli. The Packers favored by 2.5 here at home. And you know what? I think the Texans have kind of been struggling the last couple of weeks. I feel like they've been playing some easy competition. I think they're going to get a bit of a rude awakening this week with the Packers like they did with the Vikings in week 3. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers at home to win 35-28. I still think missing Nico Collins is really going to hurt this Texans offense. And that Green Bay defense has been playing really well. Xavier McKinney looks like maybe the best signing in free agency. I think Jordan Love has himself a day against this Houston defense. So I'm taking the Packers at home.
When you look at the 1 o'clock window, the two best games to watch out for is Texans Packers and Lions Vikings. Both phenomenal games to watch out for. Yes, the Texans have not been producing the right amount of bigger score wins as they would want to, but you got to look at the Packers too. They were struggled for the while. They're back up on the high on the roller coaster, but I feel like this roller coaster has to come back down eventually. So I'm going to take the Texans 24-23. I expect this game to be very, very close. 24-23 Texans.
Okay. Next up, we have Lions. We'll go right. Well, speaking of Lions Vikings, Eli, that's the next game on our list. Lions Vikings, 1 p.m. on Fox. Eli, this is a game. This game will decide
Phenomenal game.
first. This game will determine first place in the NFC North. After this game concludes, the Vikings are the slight 2-point favorites at home. Obviously, the Lions lost Aiden Hutchinson last week with that gruesome leg injury. Meanwhile, the Vikings are coming off their bye week after the win they had in London. This was so tough, Eli. I went back and forth deciding who I want to take this game. But you know what, though? All good things must come to an end. I'm going with the Detroit Lions on the road, 38-28, to spoil the Vikings' undefeated season. And I'm going to go ahead and make it my upset of the week. So give me the Lions to win on the road in Minnesota.
You see, the Lions, they've been winning, but they're not the Lions I saw from last year. I mean, now they lost David Montgomery. There were some injuries that you got to look at from a Lions perspective. If you pick this game without any injuries, I'd say, yeah, the Lions have a fair shot at it. But I think I'm going to pick here the Minnesota Vikings, 35-32. The Vikings are just too good. The Vikings will win this game. Give me the Minnesota Vikings, 35-32. Jason Lee comments, Jack's wild skull.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really think it's wild to take the NFC runner-ups in a game that, again, the Vikings are only a 2-point favorite.
I mean, I think you can make that argument because you got to look at injury standpoint.
And they did, and the Vikings did show against the Jets that they're not a perfect team. They almost blew that game.
They almost blew the game, 100%. But you got to look at the Lions, though, that you also have injury. You got to look at.
Yeah,
especially what happened last week in Dallas.
But the Vikings also have injuries, though. Aaron Jones is still injured.
Not as bad as the Lions do.
TJ Hawkinson's not back yet. No, the Vikings still have injuries, though, which is...
They do, but not as worse as what the Lions just suffered last Sunday.
Well, it depends where you're looking. If you're looking on the defensive side of the ball, yes, the Lions have worse. But if you look on offense, when Aaron Jones got hurt against the Jets in London, the offense went completely stale. They did nothing the rest of that game when Aaron Jones went down. So you got to look at it from both sides. But if you're talking about strictly defense, yes, that definitely hurts the Lions more. But at the same time, the Vikings have the best defense in the NFL right now. So really, any defense you throw out there, the Vikings are going to be better right now. But
absolutely,
it's going to be either way that we lie. It's going to be a great game, and it's really a shame that this was not flexed into prime time.
Absolutely.
By the way, Eli, before we go to our next game, I want to note that real quickly about the flexing, just so everybody knows, since we're coming up on it. I'll talk about flexing for each primetime slate real quick. So for Sunday Night Football, games can already be flexed. It started in Week 5. It was rumored to happen last week with Commanders-Ravens. Ultimately, they stuck with Bengals-Giants because they wanted CBS protected the Commanders-Ravens game. And there's rumors for the next couple weeks, like Jaguars at Eagles is the Week 9 scheduled Sunday Night Football game. And there are already rumors that they're planning to take that out. And then also, which is new this year, Monday Night Football can be flexed beginning in Week 12. We saw that last year, Eli, with Seahawks and Eagles being flexed to Monday night late in the year. And also, Thursday Night Football can now be flexed starting Week 13, so right after Thanksgiving. So there certainly could be a lot of flexing, Eli. I've looked at the primetime schedule down the line. There are some not great games in there, so I think we can see a lot of flexing here in 2024. It's been a very unpredictable season, and I think the flexing is going to show in that.
Absolutely.
Next up, Titans at Bills, 1 p.m. on CBS. We've talked about two great games in a row, and now we're talking about this game.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
going to make this short and sweet, Eli. This is my lock of the week. I don't need to spend any time on this one. The Bills are going to win 33-17. The Titans have just been an absolute joke this year. Mason Rudolph should be their starting quarterback, not Will Levis, who has been absolutely terrible this year. The Bills, I thought they had a really good bounce back performance against the Jets. I think the addition of Amari Cooper is going to be a huge addition for that offense. He's going to play on Sunday, make his debut. And I think the Bills are going to come out to play in front of their home fans. So Bills 33-17, lock of the week.
short and sweet. Lock of the week. Bills 30-17. Titans have no shot against Buffalo.
Next up, Panthers at Commanders, 4:05 p.m. on CBS. Washington favored by 7.5, coming off that loss to the Ravens. Even then, though, the Commanders still look very good in that loss to the Ravens. Jaden Daniels looks like he could be an MVP candidate this year. And that Commanders defense has been underrated this year. And you're taking on a 1-5 Carolina Panthers team. No doubt here, Eli. Commanders win here 31-12. And it's also been my survivor pick of the week. But expect another big performance from Jaden Daniels on Sunday.
The Panthers have really been struggling, and Jaden Daniels is 100% the quarterback that we've all been waiting for. He is the CJ Stroud for the rookie of the year this year. No question asked. And for those reasons, give me the Commanders 32-10.
Next up, we have Raiders at Rams, 4:05 p.m.
Rams,
on CBS. What'd you say?
Raiders at Rams, yeah.
Yes, that's what I
Yep.
corrected myself.
You corrected. You're good.
Yep. 4:05 on CBS. The Rams are 5.5-point favorites. Both these teams are
Short and
struggling as
sweet
well. The
again.
Raiders 2-4. The Rams coming off their bye week. But you know what, though, Eli? I think as the Rams start to get healthier, I don't think the Rams season is over just yet. The NFC West is pretty open right now. Again, you have the 49ers in first place with a 3-3 record right now. So I think this division is open as the Rams start to get healthier. You get Cooper Kupp back. You get Puka Nacua back. You get Tyler Higbee back. I think the Rams can start to get on a bit of a winning streak here. And I think it starts on Sunday, and I think they win 27-10. And the Raiders have just not been playing well, Eli. So I'm going with the Rams at home.
I am taking the Rams at home 28-20. The final. The Raiders have really been struggling. I don't think that what we saw from last year definitely changes here. They did have some up and down moments, but again, I'm going to see another down moment again from the Raiders this year. I'm taking the Rams 28-20.
Good pick, Eli. Next up, the national
Game of the week.
4:25 on Fox. This is a nationally broadcast game. So no matter where you are in the United States, this will be the game on Fox at 4:25. Rematch of Super Bowl 58. Chiefs at the 49ers in San Francisco. The Niners are a slight favorite here at home. They still don't have Christian McCaffrey. Both of these teams dealing with injuries. The Chiefs have no Pacheco, no Rashee Rice. They've got several injuries there. But it's going to be a great game, though, either way, Eli. Even though the 49ers are struggling and they're only 3-3, they played very well last week against Seattle. That was a big win for them against primetime. They've had the extra, few days. Well, actually, both of these teams will have extra time to prepare because Kansas City's coming off their bye and the 49ers are coming off a mini bye. So both of these teams are well rested. I think it's going to be an awesome game, Eli. Anybody could win this game. It's definitely risky to pick against the Chiefs, but I'm going to pick the 49ers to win, Eli, 24-22. The 49ers have to win at some point. They can't just keep losing to the Chiefs every time. So
they will lose to the Chiefs every time.
Eli, you picked the Saints to beat the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. I don't know what. I think
again. I had faith. Whatever.
In the Saints.
My Saints. Again, they were on a winning streak in the beginning. This is before they went downhill, Jack. Just want to clarify.
Well, they have lost 2 games in a row before you picked the Saints. Either way, I'm taking the 49ers 24-22. Go ahead, Eli. Make your pick for Chiefs 49ers.
Well, number one, the Chiefs are well rested. They're powerful. They're dominant. The 49ers got lucky when they play Seattle because at the end of the day, they're always going to win in Seattle. That is a given fact. So that is a lucky for them. Oh, you're always going to go to Seattle and always win because that is the most part the case for San Francisco. So you cannot say that they're going to be powerful in this game. They could be absolutely struggling. Are they well rested? 100%. Are the Chiefs well rested? 100%. But in this case, you cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes. Give me Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs 30-21.
I think the Chiefs have gotten a little lucky themselves. I think it might catch up to this week. They're playing like an actual team. The 49ers again. You look at their schedule. They have not really played very many good teams, and they've got help from the refs and all that stuff. We'll just see what happens here. Next up, for the second straight week, Eli.
Fantastic,
awesome Sunday night football matchup.
Competing with baseball again.
Jets at the Steelers, 8:20 on NBC. This is the second time in 3 weeks, Eli, that the Steelers are at home on Sunday night. And next week, they play at home on Monday night. So apparently Pittsburgh in prime time It's primetime Pittsburgh there in Western Pennsylvania. Steelers favored by 1.5. I don't really care who's the starting quarterback for this game, Eli. The Jets have really struggled these last couple weeks. They fired their head coach. The offense looks bad. Devontae Adams is not the answer to help them get over the hump. Give me the Steelers in a low-scoring game, 17-14.
Here are my couple reasons and thoughts on this. You look at the Jets right now. They struggled a lot last week. They're going to be struggling as they enter Pittsburgh. You look at the Steelers right now. They want Justin Fields. Justin Fields more than likely the starter, but they said Russell Wilson can play. So now you're going to find out, is this more of a, I want this quarterback because I like him more than this quarterback situation, or is I'm going to keep my starter of Justin Fields going forward? It's not announced who it is. More than likely it's Fields, and the Jets have been struggling. For those reasons, I'm taking the Steelers 26-22. But like I said, as soon as they switch over to Russell Wilson as quarterback, you won't be seeing me pick the Steelers anymore because I see a lot of decline in the Steelers after that moment happens.
All right, next up, Eli, we have a really good Monday Night Football game. We have a doubleheader this week on Monday night. The third of four Monday Night Football doubleheaders. The next one will be late in the season in December, but here in late October, we have a great doubleheader. We'll start off with Ravens at Bucks. This is 8:15 on ESPN.
And
the Ravens,
ABC.
3.5-point favorites. You have an awesome game here. You have 4-2 versus 4, and you have 4-2 taking on 4-2. It's going to be an awesome game, Eli. These are two playoff contenders. Both teams made the playoffs last year. Both made it to the Elite Eight down in Tampa Bay. But you know what, Eli? Lamar Jackson is 22-1 in his career against the NFC. And I feel like Tampa Bay's defense has really been struggling these last couple of weeks. And the Ravens have the best ground game in the league right now. That offense has been unstoppable. Lamar Jackson's played like the best QB in the league these last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Baltimore Ravens to win on the road 30-23. It's going to be close, but I like the Ravens, especially with the way their offense is playing right now. So give me the Baltimore Ravens.
By far, fantastic Monday night game. Both these teams are looking really good, especially the Buccaneers. But looking at this now, the Ravens, they got it in the bag. Give me the Ravens 28-21 by a touchdown of 7 points. And by the way, this game's also on ABC because going forward, a lot more Monday night games are going to ABC, probably due to low ratings and stuff.
All right, thank you, Eli. Actually, I just realized I picked the Ravens to win 30-23, and that was the score they won by last week. I did not do that on purpose. That was just
all right. No, it's okay. Maybe it's going to work again.
Maybe it will. I come up with these random scores in my head. All right,
absolutely.
Finally, we have
a
game. The second of the Monday Night Football doubleheader. Now, this game is exclusively on ESPN Plus. Usually, there's one game a year for the NFL that's on ESPN Plus. Usually, it's in London, but this year it's on Monday night. We have the Chargers taking on the Cardinals. So a West Coast battle, 9 o'clock again, as I said, on ESPN Plus. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites here. The Chargers have really outperformed my expectations, Eli. I thought they've been a really underrated team in the NFL this season, and the Cardinals defense has just been a disaster, and they don't look ready yet. So give me the Chargers on the road to win 29-20.
Well, the Cardinals have been really struggling. They do get some up and down moments, but I think they're going to continue to struggle. And the Chargers, well, I think they're the Chargers. They're going to absolutely blow them out 35-14 in the victory.
All right, that is going to wrap up our Week 7 picks. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Just a reminder that Sports with Mano Mano is on tonight at 7 o'clock instead of tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys are up to date with that. Go check out Eli and Jim over there. Join Eli and I for the St. Mary versus Glen Rock game tomorrow. The NJIC semifinals kickoff is at 1 p.m. Yep, it's going to be great. And then join us again on Tuesday for our Week 7 recap. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Elijah Weintraub, Jack Rizzo signing off on the 12th Horseshoe podcast. Go Colts, and we'll see you guys next time.
Go Seahawks. Go Devils. Goodbye.